Monica, the one thing they know is you're a lawyer. Many people know that. And they relate you to dangote.
Yes.
Okay. How did you find yourself at dangote?
Really interesting story, and a true story. I worked in Washington, D.C. for the International Finance Corporation. They're the private sector arm of the World Bank. And Mr. Dangote was expanding into cement at the time and was looking for finance. And the IFC tend to finance big projects. And so he came into DC for a meeting to talk to IFC about financing. And I was one of the lawyers in the room. And he found it really curious because I was the only black person in the room. And he engaged me, said, "What are you doing here? What do you do?" And he was, very interested in how I got there and why I was working in Washington, of all places. And he says, "There's always work in Africa. Why are you here?" And he gave me his card, and I just didn't think much of it. But later on, when I was in Lagos, I got an opportunity to actually fly with him on a due diligence trip to Zambia. And I was working for somebody else at the time. And by the time we landed, I had a job offer. So life is really interesting. Your first meeting, you might not think it's anything, but he remembered that first meeting. And when we were coming here to Lusaka to look at the now plant, I landed, I had an offer on the table. Yeah.
So your job interview, everything was on the plane?
On the plane. And it was great. I mean, in a very much more relaxed kind of environment. And you have 4 hours with someone who ordinarily maybe you wouldn't have got the 4 hours, right? So it was a really great opportunity for me.